In this video, you're going to see already that things look a little bit different, and that's because I messed up big time in a couple of key areas. Firstly, as a sim racer in general, and secondly, as an inverted commas YouTuber. So stick around and I'll show you exactly what's happened. Hey guys, Eerie is here and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, then subscribe now and click the bell icon as well so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. So we're going to jump straight into the race here. No quali footage for this one sadly, but I'm going to go into exactly why that was shortly, because I'm about to completely ruin the Alpha up in front's race. So coming down into turn number 1 here for the first time, we are gaining because of the slipstream and he is going to defend, and then I decide to go against everything I do in every single race, go for the move and completely mess it up. So I then get out the throttle here to let him back through, and in the process go from 8th all the way down to dead last. What an absolute nightmare. So a public apology needed to go out to you, Ryu, for that one. Completely and utterly my fault. As we all saw there, I got what I deserved and I now have a huge mountain to climb if I'm going to get anything out of this race. As we come through the chicane of death towards the end of the lap, everything has settled down a little and I can concentrate on trying to get something out of this race after that huge mistake earlier. Now, I don't know what our door number is. I definitely don't think it's 6, but I think if we can get into or anywhere near the top 10, we can somehow do some damage limitation here. But the comeback is going to take an immediate hit. After overtaking the Aston immediately and getting up off the bottom, we're going to go back down here, get overtaken again, and we're going to end up in 20th. But keep your eye on the Ferrari though, who's going to run wide coming out of the final corner. We're back up to 19th immediately, so let's try again, reset at trying to get something out of this one. So as we start lap number 2 here, I'm sat in the slipstream of the Aston who's just overtaken us up in front. But having been rattled from my mistake on lap number 1, I decide not to try to get 18th coming here into the first corner. But then I'm going to pick it up anyway, as up ahead the Lambo gets a right wriggle on and loses all momentum coming up the hill. And I'm going to gain 17th very shortly after, but through some pretty weird circumstances. So as we come towards the chicane of death here, I'm going to leave it in and the Aston is just going to turn in on me. The game is then going to give him a 2-second penalty for his troubles, which I thought was a bit harsh in all honesty. Yes, his awareness rating was absolutely 0 there, but it didn't really affect me too much, so I don't really think it was necessary in all honesty to give him that penalty. What was even weirder though was that he tried to serve it as we come across the line to start lap number 3. There are gates for that, my friend, and have been for some time now, but I'm not complaining. Either way, our rise off the bottom continues and we are up to 17th now. And next up is, unfortunately, the driver I punted off on the very first lap, Ryu. But as we try and catch him and the person he's battling with there in 15th, some of the more eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that we are in the chase cam for this one, just like the good old days. And that is because I recorded everything like I usually do, I put everything into folders nice and organised like I usually do, but then I do something I don't usually do. I deleted absolutely everything. I'm telling you guys, something just happens when I get near A+. So to remedy this, I had to record the replay from 2 different angles to produce this video. That is why there is no manufacturer choice cutscene, because I deleted it. I did record it, but it's gone. I have gone for Porsche though, as you can see quite clearly here. That is why also there is no wheel cam or quali footage either, so apologies for that one guys. This one sitting here right now is a painful one to make. Not only did this one take twice as long as usual because I deleted everything, I also punted someone, as we all saw very embarrassingly at the very first corner. But as I always say, I show you guys warts and all on this channel. Not everything goes perfectly, not for any of us, and despite a big part of me telling myself just not to release it and just move on, I am keen not to sugarcoat it, show you guys my mistakes. I'm only human, while I document both my highs and lows on this channel. So moving ahead slightly to lap number 6 here, we've managed to catch the two up in front, who have themselves managed to catch a gaggle of cars in front of them. There are now 7 cars all the way up to 10th, which is our new goal up ahead. We move up to 16th here after getting a good run on the sister Cayman, which then turns into 15th as the Merc gets it wrong coming out of the chicane of death. He loses all his momentum there and allows us up the inside into the final corner. 14th comes shortly afterwards here, after the Nissan just keeps his footed through the S's and finds himself in the gravel. Very strange that one, but again, we'll absolutely take it. Now, because I've been too busy apologising and explaining the appalling presentation of this video, I haven't introduced the race or mentioned the strategy for this one. So this is my first entry into the Manufacturers Series for this new season. And as I alluded to earlier, I have gone with Porsche for this season. We are here at Dragon Trail Seaside for 15 laps, and the strategy here is a nice easy one-stopper for some new boots and a splash of fuel if required. And after the pit stops, as you will see here, I am down to 18th again, but this should start to improve once everyone starts coming in for their pit stops. Jumping ahead one lap here, a few guys decided to come in and we've risen up to 14th. Now I'm amazed it's taken this long, but the chicane of death finally claims its first victims, and we're propelled up to 12th here as we overtake both the Jag and the Lambo, so we're getting closer and closer to some sort of recovery on this one. I also saw there in the pit stop that we were actually door number 1, which I'm actually not very happy about at all, as it goes to show how bad it's going to be at the end of this one with our driver rating and probably safety rating. Moving ahead to lap number 12 now, ourselves and the Merc up ahead have both had our heads down for the last few laps and we've caught up to the pack in front. The Beamer there is going to peel off into the pits and we're going to inherit 11th as we cross the line here to start lap number 12. Lap number 14 now, and the corner coming up, as we all know, is hard enough going through by yourself, and 2 certainly doesn't go into 1. I'm going to see this coming as I decide to pull out. Some good life advice for you there. They both ahead leave it in and the inevitable happens. The Aston went off into the gravel, the Merc then gets a penalty, so we're going to go up gladfully accepting both of those positions up to 9th place. So finally, after those absolute horrendous scenes in turn number 1, we're all the way up to the top 10 now. And as we circulate here on the final lap in this one, as I mentioned earlier, this one was an absolute disaster generally for me. Not just in the race with the mistake I made at turn number 1, but post-race and even editing. So apologies guys for that. We're back to normal service for the next ones, don't you worry, but I'm only human. I am what I am. I'm not perfect and I share everything with you all. I think that's something that I hope you guys know and that makes me slightly unique in this little niche that we're in. And I just wanted to apologise one last time to Tsu Ryu for turn number 1. It's all incredibly embarrassing, but thankfully this one is finally coming to an end as we come across the line to take 9th place here. Now afterwards I'd like to show you my progress with my Kudos Prime graphs, but of course that was in the folder that I deleted too. So I'm just going to get out of here, get rid of this one, forget about it and move on to the next one. So for now guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. We also have merch too, so go check out the Teespring store below and go get yourself some of that if you want to support the channel through there. But thanks again guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.